7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Through Black and White Eyes for this look ahead to Champions League game against PSG. Kylian Mbappe is at St James's Park. He's on the pitch. Cannot wait. Come on, buzzing. We've got Mauro in the background. He's on time. Shock there. But Kyle's going to join us for a little bit, and then he'll probably disappear. But it is what it is. But obviously, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Really helps for us to grow, to grow the channel. It's much appreciated for everybody who is already subscribed. Don't forget about Diet Crow Shop as well. They were wonderful sponsors. Sell some quality merchandise, and don't forget to use the code BAS20 for 20% off. Right, obviously, huge game tomorrow. I'm excited. I was a bit up and down before because obviously injuries, but fingers crossed. Heard some good news on certain things, so I can't wait to get going. We'll quickly go through a few of the comments and then we'll bring Mauro in. 5 years till name change. Everyone like, subscribe and comment away. Evening all. Hi Gary, Kyle and Mauro. Hi everyone. Hi Hi Les, hi Andy. Hello Gary and Kyle. Right, let's bring the main man in. Hello there.
Hello. Hi guys.
How are you?
Fine, you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I can't wait for tomorrow. Like, I'm really pumped up now after seeing PSG arrive at the pitch. I'm absolutely buzzing for this.
I see you have been strengthened tonight. You are in full numbers.
Yes, he's gonna. He comes on quite a bit, Kyle. He just when he wants to and stuff like that, and he's gonna show with something funny soon as well.
Cool.
We know about it, right? We know about it, so he'll show you soon, and it's funny anyway.
Cool.
One comment, and then we'll get on about it because obviously it's an absolutely huge night tomorrow. Wherever you look, Sky, ITV, whether it's up in the sky, this game is attracting everything at the minute. And I've just seen Kylian Mbappe walk up the stairs to the Melbourne and signing autographs. Now, how often do you see? I mean, Mauro, just quickly, because I don't want to talk about him much, but how often do you see Kylian Mbappe alive? So people who are going tomorrow night are so lucky on this. I mean, obviously, they're going to watch Newcastle beat PSG. But in the back of your mind, you're going to see Kylian Mbappe play as well. And what a fabulous player he is, isn't he?
I know he's one of the best, if not the moment best player in Europe, maybe in the world now, with Messi going to America, with Cristiano.
There you go, you've had a Mauro.
Sorry, I got a call. I didn't
hit the call if you want me.
It's back. So with Ronaldo in Arabia and Messi in America, he's definitely the best player in Europe, if not in the world. And it's a double-edged sword. So from one side, I wished he didn't play. He didn't recover in time, but as you mentioned, from the other side, for the people to see him play live, it's something special, especially after 21 years out of Champions League and now back again, and it will be absolutely big and delightful game.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'd say this is. I mean, the difference for this Newcastle side is I think they'll show PSG respect. But they'll go out tomorrow to win the game. And that's what I love about this Newcastle team. They're not, it doesn't matter who they play, right? They've always got a game plan. They will have a game plan tomorrow night to beat PSG. They will have a game plan for Kylian Mbappe. They will have a game plan for Hakimi. You name it, whoever's on the pitch, Newcastle will have a game plan. And that's what I love about this team. Obviously,
absolutely. I don't see Eddie Howe setting anything for a draw, so everything will be set to win the game, and hopefully with a bit of luck and the support from home fans, we'll manage to do it.
I just want to quickly show this one as well, because I've just been sent this. It's not the best picture, and it might be difficult to see because I've literally just got it, but are you seeing that? I'll get the comments off and see. That's basically a gesture by the Newcastle, and this has come from a Sunderland fan account, basically, with Bradley in the middle of the crest. And that was the Newcastle fans who done that. And the Sunderland fans basically saying that Newcastle fans have embedded the image of Bradley Lowry onto their club crest in order to show solidarity to support for his family and legacy. It's a beautiful tribute which shows cancer has no colours and how our love for him fosters unity and bridge divides. So basically what they're saying is that it doesn't matter the rivalry between Newcastle and Sunderland. I mean, I think that is just an unbelievable gesture who did it. And for them to respond and say it's fantastic, it just shows unity. I don't want to talk about it much tonight because obviously it sickened me. I was like disgusted in the whole thing. And it's but I just wanted to show it because it's a lovely gesture by the club. I mean by the fans, sorry, and obviously the Sunderland fans who responded to it. Obviously, this is the next match. Newcastle against PSG. This is what we're here to talk about. For me, the Milan game was a good start, right? But this is the one with this is the home game. This is for me. This is when the Champions League starts, and there's no. If you want to get to the next stage, right, you have to win home games. So we have to go out tomorrow and try and win the game. It's as simple as that, isn't it, More?
Absolutely. You have to win the home games. It was a great start to win a draw at Milan, but we have to give our best in each home game and try to win every one of them, including PSG, who are probably favorites in this group, but we'll have to give our best and try to win tomorrow as any other home game in this group.
Exactly, I couldn't agree more. Going off subject a bit here, but this lad's starting to show in the media. What I'm going to do is just get rid of the logo from the top. Basically, this is Arne Slot on Yakuba Menta. He certainly doesn't lack self-confidence. His willingness to give everything is enormous. When you see statistics, it's really impressive. Menta runs more sprint meters against Ajax in an hour than many other boys do in 2 games. He's incredibly fast, and he wants to do it so badly. For the remainder of against Ajax, we substituted him, and he immediately accepts that. So basically, I think we have got one big talent on our hands there. And by the looks of it, he works hard, he's fast, he's got the commitment, and he's a winner. That fits Eddie Howe, doesn't it? That's Eddie Howe to a T, isn't it?
Absolutely. He's 100% Eddie Howe player. And I managed to watch him 3 games this season, 1 in Europe and 2 in Holland League. And he's absolutely huge talent. And at 7 million, which we paid for him, he could prove a really big bargain. And he could also save us millions in bringing another right winger next summer, because I also think this was a great move to give him a loan at Feyenoord, because he will get the game time there. He will improve, and I honestly didn't expect him to start improving so much so fast. But he's really a baller, and as you mentioned, he's also in a way like Miggy. He's also very good defensively. He runs back, he tracks back, and absolutely Eddie Howe player, and he could save us millions and millions, which we would probably have to pay for right winger next summer.
I completely agree. Obviously, I'm going to show, because it's such a big game, I'm going to show some of the comments from some of the players and Eddie coming up. Because obviously it's, do you know what it is? I don't think there's a player who hasn't come out and commented. I'll tell you what, it's that big. It's but this is what it's for. This is what the Champions League about. It's for nights like this. Obviously, Bruno, Fabrizio's reposted that again. If you haven't seen it, I'll pop it back on. It's hard to say that one, but basically saying that Bruno's agreed his contract and is going to be announced soon. I've heard it's possibly going to be announced tomorrow. And I got told a few days ago they were planning on doing it before the Champions League game to get the crowd up even more. Obviously, I'm still not sure about this release clause, right? I get why it's being put in by club and player. I mean, obviously I don't want to stay on this one subject too much, but are you a bit worried about that release clause? Are you just fine with it?
To be honest, not. I think it's only like just how do you say, like a precaution from his side, from his agent side, just in case. But from everything Bruno spoke about the club, about his teammates, about his future goals, he has no wish to move, and any club can beat that release clause, but if he doesn't want to move, then it's no point. And I don't see him wanting to move, and I think that's just like just in case. But I honestly, I don't see Bruno moving in next 3 to 4 years or even more, because even he said he wants to become a legend at St. James Park. He's not just here for a season or two.
I mean, it's all rumours at the minute, but I heard that the release clause is not as straightforward as it makes out. So basically, he has £100 million. Can we speak to Bruno? No, that's not the deal. That's what I've heard anyway. There's more involved in it, i.e., I don't know the full extent, but maybe Real Madrid offer this. You know what I mean? That's what I've heard. If Man United offered this, it's instantly rejected. No, we don't want to sell him. Bruno's not interested. Apparently, that's what I've heard. It's certain clubs. Now, it's then up to Bruno for him to decide. Now, if it happened in 4 months' time, I think Bruno turns it down. I really do. Right? That's my personal opinion. I just think that's in 2 years' time, it's a different thing. You just don't know. But anyway, I'm delighted he's signing the contract. It's going to boost the crowd up tomorrow massively. The atmosphere won't need it, but it'll just add another 5% on top, which is great. They are Bruno's recoveries. Obviously, everything that man does, he's a hard worker, he's class going forward, he's defensively brilliant. He's just a phenomenal player. What more can you say about him? Unbelievable. This, obviously, I mean, Mauro wouldn't have seen this like we saw it last night. I was driving back, and funny enough, you can see St. James's Park from our house, and when we were driving along, you could see Trippier's shirt up in the sky, and it was incredible to see. So
it looks amazing on photos. I can't even imagine how it looks live.
It's incredible to see. I mean, he has a better one, right? There's Tonali, Mauro, and you know when it looks huge. I'm not kidding. When you look at it, I mean, bear in mind. I mean, right, for everybody who knows, I live in Gateshead, right? So you can imagine I'm not right next to the ground, but I'm not too far away. And it felt like that thing was right next to it, to be honest, didn't it? And it was, honestly, it's such a unbelievable sight. I mean, it's a shame they can't do it. I mean, I've heard that it's basically because of Champions League rules or something that you can't do this. That's why they've done it now. Because I was thinking, oh, why didn't they just leave it? But then I found out, nah, you can't do it because of these rules. I mean, stupid, but
yeah, they have all kinds of security rules, and unfortunately, but to be honest, I've never heard about anything similar being done by any other club. I think we are first in doing anything like that, and it's really amazing, and it's a really nice way to show that we are back and that we mean business, that we are not here just that Newcastle is coming back big time.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, yeah, Hakimi's a world-class fullback. Might even be the best fullback in the world. He did play in midfield at the weekend, I think, because I think they played three at the back, so I think he played right wing back, or right
They play
midfield, I think.
differently
Yeah,
mostly in their league and in Champions League. They play different tactics. They play like you said, three at the back most games and French league, but they always play four at the back in Champions League.
I'd prefer that.
Yeah,
I'm
me
not kidding.
too.
I would prefer them to play 4-4-2 tomorrow. I really
Me,
would, because
me too.
I
Agree.
think 3-5-2 isolates Isak a bit because he's up against three centre backs. Whereas, I mean, I tell you what, mate. I will say this: we'll see how good Hakimi is because he's up against Anthony Gordon tomorrow night. Now,
Yeah, you have to be fast.
Anthony Gordon is. I mean, look, Anthony Gordon's still got a long way to go, right? I'm not saying he hasn't, right? But I tell you what, Anthony Gordon is going to give him a game tomorrow night. That's for certain. I mean,
I agree.
Hakimi, I'll put it this way, Hakimi will come off that pitch and go, bloody hell, like that. You know what I mean? I have no doubt about that. 100% Gary. It's an unbelievable gesture, and for Sunderland to get back. I mean, it's unbelievable how much both sets of fans have got together and just basically helped each other through that situation from Friday, because it was shocking. Love how Mentor always plays in the post on UFC too. He knows where he belongs. Is that him though? Because I've heard it's not him. Right?
I'm
I
not
could be
sure with
wrong.
all these
No,
these days with all fake accounts. You never know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
I-
really.
I mean, I've heard it's not him, but I haven't, I'm not sure, but I could be wrong. All right, Jody, hope you're well. Is that you, Baz? How's it going? Baz isn't well. Good luck. Hopefully Baz gets better, because Baz isn't not well, like really bad.
Yeah.
I've started. I mean, Baz got it before me. I got it. I got worse. Baz got better, then he got worse again. So I don't know how he's managed that one, but he has. I hope it stays the full year and comes back to us next summer. The experience will be, yeah, I completely agree. Somebody asked us the other day, would you bring Mentor back now? No, I wouldn't. Keep him where he is. Let him get the experience. Bring him back.
I agree.
Yakuba Mentor, he's a young, unbelievable talent that we've got coming through. Great Gary, he'll get more game time. Yeah, leave him where he is. Is it just me chilling? Take care. Just quickly go through the comments and then we'll get back onto it. Was going to watch Sociedad, but was. I've got Man United on. They haven't started yet, but to be honest, it's probably going to be a laugh watching them at the moment. Roma, I think. Oh, Sociedad or something, I'm not sure.
They lost against
Galatasaray, I think.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh, well.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, so they've got to go over there. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I could think
so.
of better
I'll
places
check.
to go. Because they have a lot of centre backs making more. Marquinhos, world class centre backs. Maybe one day we'll get those kind of players in. Well, that's it. I mean, look, PSG are a world class side, and look, to beat PSG, right? There's a few things that have got to happen. One, we've got to have a bit of luck, right? That's obvious, right? Two, we have got to be on our game, i.e., our main players have got to be on the game. Trippier, Bruno,
especially
Isak, especially them, they have to be at the top. And people like Mbappe and Hakimi have to have a few days off, or not at the best, because that's what it happens. But I'll tell you what, we've played Man City twice this season. I consider them the best team in the world. So we've beat them once, and we got narrowly beaten the other time. So I think we've got a good chance. But you're right, they're full of world-class players. Evelyn, lads, buzzing about tomorrow. Let's go. 100%. I cannot wait. Right, we'll get back on with it. Right, obviously, these are the comments from some of the players and Eddie. So basically, Eddie Howe's going on the importance of home form. It's going to be crucial for us. The away games in the competition are very difficult, as we experienced that in Milan. I know we didn't hit the highs or the best performance, but I think our success in the competition would be based off what we do at home, where we have the backing of our supporters. I 100% agree with that, Mauro. Do you?
Absolutely. I think we have, if we want to pass this group, we have to win at least 2 games at home. Hopefully, we'll start tomorrow against Paris, but we have to win 2 games because this is a group of death, and most teams will be winning home games. So it will be hard. We managed our start against Milan point. It was great start, but it will be hard to win points in Paris and also Borussia Dortmund at their stadium. Although they started badly this season at their stadium, they are really a force, and their fans are also something special, and their stadium something special. And so to pass this group without 2 wins at home, I think it will be hard to pass.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
without a doubt. You have to do the
hopefully
home
we'll
game.
win tomorrow.
If you get a draw away from home, which we've done, and you win the next home game, you've got a big chance. But then again, we lost the first 3 when the last time we went here, and we still got up. So it all. The thing with this group is, I think the problem. And I'm going to mention some later on. The problem with this group is it's that tough. I think everybody can take points off everybody, and I think that's the issue with this group. I don't think anybody's going to dominate this group. I don't think PSG are, because are PSG going to stroll up at the Milan and find an easy game? No, they're not. So that's what it is. Anyway, Kyle's going to show you. Lovely gesture from his mum, obviously, right? But he's going to show you. See if anybody notices. I'll lift it up. Anybody spotted it? Tonali? If anybody can spot what the problem is.
The number.
The number. It's got 18 on it.
How come?
Well, what you do is when you order it, you've got to put the number down, what you want, in the player name, right, separately. Well, it had 18 in, I think. So it was meant to be it. So it's got 18 Tonali on his back. Mine are right, though. That's the main thing.
It's still a beautiful jersey. It really is.
Luckily, his other one he got has got Gordon 10 on. That's right. So that's the one he's going to wear when he goes out. But it was funny, wasn't it? Right. Joe Linton, I was a bit shocked here. Basically, I don't know if you know Morrow, but Eddie came out with the team news and he said Callum Wilson. I was shocked at this, and this might be Eddie Howe mind games, but Callum Wilson was at training the day, but he says he doesn't think he'll make tomorrow. It's going to be close, but at the minute he won't. Joe Linton's in a similar position where we'll make it basically a late check on him. Botman's out and Sandro Tonali is fine, right? Now, I'm buzzing about Tonali because I think Tonali will start tomorrow. Botman, I knew he was out. Joe Linton, I'm delighted that he's even being considered because I thought he pulled his hamstring. And obviously Callum, I've got a feeling Callum might not be 100%, but he might be fit. But I think he's keeping him for West Ham. Right, that's my personal opinion. I think Wilson will play at West Ham because he's got a good record. Obviously, based on that, you must be buzzing that Joe Linton potentially could be involved at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if he only comes from the bench, he will be a huge boost for us. And the same for Tonali. He maybe didn't start the best in Premier League. He didn't adjust so quickly as we all hoped for, but he has a huge experience in Champions League and European games, and I think he will be a huge plus if he can play tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm fully confident in my midfield tomorrow because I haven't been recently because of obviously like a few weeks ago because I just didn't think there was something clicking. But since Sean Longstaff's come in, right, that we're going to go on about in a minute, I think everything's changed. And I think Bruno's got much better since. And this is, I mean, I repeat myself. Look, Sean Longstaff is not a Kanté. I'm not saying he is or out like that. But what Sean Longstaff does is he is a player who, like Sir Ferguson said, when he had all Ronaldos and everybody in his team, every team needs a Darren Fletcher, right? Every
Yeah.
team needs a Sean Longstaff, right? And no team, in my personal opinion, no team, right, fully works without that player in the middle of the park. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing Bruno and Tonali tomorrow because I think with the fact that Sean Longstaff's going to be there, I think them two could cause a few problems for PSG tomorrow. And I would love to see Sandro Tonali have a blinding game tomorrow because he's obviously, I mean, look, he's going to settle down. He's going to come into it. He's come to a new country. It does take players time to settle. And Murray will settle, won't he? I mean, he's a world-class player, isn't he? I mean, come on. You're talking about somebody who played in the semi-final last year for Milan. He's world-class, man. He's going to click at some point, and you're going to see it. But this is what Longstaff said. I thought this was hilarious, something he said in the air thing. For a nighttime game under the lights, it's a special place. I can't wait. It's going to be like the semi-final last year, but on steroids. I thought that was hilarious. Even walking around, I was speaking to Bart, and the goalie coach, I was going to say who's Bart, and just read the place is going to be absolutely bouncing. I can't wait for it. It's funny because if we go away and play in the atmosphere, then sometimes your mind everywhere when so much going on. And it can be tough. When teams come here, it's like that times 10. I mean, look, he's going on and on. I could read that all day, but you can feel the excitement in him. And he's such an important player now, isn't he, Mauro? I mean, I've just literally gone on about him, but he's such a massive cog in that team. You know what? I liken him to? I call him like a battery, because if you take one battery out of control, the control doesn't work, and that's what I class him as. If you take him out Newcastle at the minute, it doesn't seem to function properly. Yeah. And he's just, I mean, he's a massive player for Wales, isn't he, at the minute? I mean, he's undroppable in my opinion at the minute.
I agree. He was an important player last season, and I think he even improved this season. And he's the kind of player that when he plays good, you don't notice it as much as you do with some attacking and flair players. So when he plays good, the team is playing good, but you don't see him much. He doesn't make like highlight moves or something like that. But the best way to see the influence he has is the way Bruno has started playing better ever since Longstaff has been playing in the first 11, and him doing his job, the dirty work, as you can say, is allowing Bruno to be much more offensively free and to have more creative freedom, and that showed in the results and in the way he played. So he's at the moment, he really is undroppable. I agree with that.
Yeah, he's an important player tomorrow. I mean, massive. And I mean, I've looked at who PSG went with at the weekend, and I know they play different, but I think they had it was Ruiz and I think it's some guy called Vitinha or something. I'm not sure. I probably pronounced his name wrong. Vitinha, Now, they're quality players. I'm not saying they're on, but I think coming up against our midfield, they're going to have to be on their game because I think our midfield could click big time tomorrow. And I think Tonali's Champions League experience is clearly going to help tomorrow. Bruno's got it as well. And I don't know, there's something about Sean Longstaff. I don't think anything phases him. And I don't think the fact that he's playing PSG at home tomorrow and he's like his first home Champions League game, I don't think it's going to phase him at all. I think he's just that type of person. Obviously, this is what Trippier's had to say. It's probably like every kid in the country, to be honest. My little boy wants to walk out in the tunnel with Mbappe instead of me tomorrow night. He's absolutely obsessed with Mbappe. Always watching clips of him on YouTube. I told him, if you get to walk out with him, don't look at me in the tunnel. That's what Trippier said to his kid, basically. But it just shows you, doesn't it, that obviously the players know. It's not rocket science, but the players know how big coming up against players like him are, and the rest of them. He's not the only one. I think they're better now because they've got rid of people like Neymar and Messi, who I think were, you would call them sort of bad eggs in the dressing room, wouldn't you? And I think it's like, I know it sounds strange, but I would prefer to be up against a Neymar tomorrow because I don't think he could cope with it. No, he doesn't. And I don't think he'd be able to cope in a big game of that nature anyway, because I think it's good. I know he's done it before. He's done it for Brazil and everything. But what I mean is playing in a game where you're literally going to get pressured for 90 minutes. I don't think people like Neymar could cope with that. So it's one of those for me, but it just shows you coming up against big players, man. You just cannot beat it.
It was funny last season because they had not just Mbappe, they have Messi and Neymar, and all three of them practically didn't play any defense, and that's why their midfield is full of workers, the worker type player, because they had to assemble a midfield that will work not just for the midfield purpose, but also to cover for their not tracking back, not playing defense, and they were hoping they could win Champions League that way, but there was no way. And I think they are much better team and much closer to maybe in the end winning Champions League this way, with only Mbappe and two, let's say, normal strikers that track back and that really contribute to both phases of play. But on the other side, most of their midfield is really still workers, and even the player like Verratti, who was kind of Pirlo-like a player who could create something out of nothing. He has gone also to Saudi Arabia, and I agree with you. You mentioned previously that at the moment, on paper, our midfield is probably better than theirs, and I agree with that sentiment there because they are very defensive-minded, but not so attacking, not so creative-minded as probably ours, as Bruno and Tonali, also if he plays tomorrow, and they rely very much on Mbappe doing something special, and their fullbacks also, if they're on top play. First game, Hakimi was best player against Borussia, and he really played great. And if we manage to as you mentioned, we have Gordon, who is really fast and really tries. If we manage to nullify their fullbacks, I think that's one huge advantage for us, and that could be one step to winning the game tomorrow.
Yeah, I completely agree. To be honest, it's one of those, isn't it? You've got to stop the threat, basically, because there's so much of it. It's 11 against 11. Our strength is that our team is greater than some of its parts. Yeah, I think it's funny. I agree with Tristan in some of the comment here. He basically says it's goals, Gary, at Milan. We look bad. I have to admit, I agree with you. I thought we were toothless at Milan up front, but I think that was possibly the occasion. And I don't think at the time we were controlling the midfield at all. I thought that was at the stage where we seemed to be wide open. Yeah, we defended hard, but without a top attack, which we don't have, we need our top players, Wilson and Gordon, to be on top form and Bruno to create chances. I agree with Gordon and Bruno to create chances, but I would call Isak a top player. I really would. Yeah. Now, I think the problem with Isak is I think he gets a bit isolated at times, but if Isak's on his game, he will cause PSG major problems tomorrow. I don't care how good the defence are. He's a quality player. But I agree with some of your points. It's like, yeah, some of the players, they've got world-class players, but I think we've got a few. Unfortunately, one of them's injured, which is a shame, because I think if Sven Botman had been fit tomorrow, do you know what it is? I would feel a lot more comfortable. To get through, we need 10 points minimum, 3 wins and a draw. Well, we've got a draw, and yeah, I think you're right. I think that gets you through, but I tell you what, that does guarantee. That guarantees third place in Europa League. if they're still doing that. I don't know. They keep changing. You still get your Europa League, don't you, man? For finishing third. Yeah. I just want us to go out there, play our game, not be cautious and loud paid. I think they will play their game tomorrow because they're at home. If they'd been away from home, I think it'd be similar to Milan. But it'll be definite St. James. What was that? Don't forget to vote, please. Oh yeah, don't forget to vote. For some reason, every time Baz puts a vote on, I can never see it. I don't know why. He did it the other day and I can't find it. Pointless going into a game without hope. I agree. I think Milan will top the group because Leo was lethal in Europe. I think he's a top quality player, but I think he cocked a few things up against us, to be honest. I would still have him at Newcastle, that's for sure.
Definitely.
I think Lascelles will do fine. He's the best spare defender we have, plus he's strong. Look, I wasn't Lascelles' biggest fan, but the Eddie Howe effect's clearly taken over because Lascelles, the last 2 games, has been solid as a rock, to be honest. I'd be worried about putting Big Joe on tomorrow. I don't think he will. I think he'll be on the bench. Whether he comes on or not, I don't know. But it's just good knowing that Joe Linton's potentially back quicker than I thought. Whereas Baz, I'm not listening to these two. Baz is in bed. So the sooner he gets back, the sooner he can get rid of me tomorrow. Baz is proper Pirelli. Trippier, Bruno, Tonali, Isak, all have Champions League games in them. Yes, Botman does, but we'll miss him. But we need in the summer, we need to see Makoko or Osman. Well, you know what it is? Look, me and Morrow would take Osman tomorrow, wouldn't we?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right.
In a second.
I've said this time and again, whether that's January, the summer, or next summer, Newcastle are going to have to make a statement signing. By which I mean a huge signing that's going to sell shirts around the world. So when Mbappe goes somewhere, you've got people clamouring to get his autographs who don't support PSG. That's what I'm on about. I think we've got potentially world-class players, a few of them. But what we need is a superstar in Morrow at some point. We need that global name that basically attracts around the world. And Osman fits that, doesn't he? I mean,
absolutely.
You're going to have to spend a lot of money to do that. But I'm telling you, look, if we want to go big and we want to challenge Man City and we want to challenge in the Champions League every season, I agree we're going to have to sign somebody like Osman because you can't go into a season, for me, relying on Callum Wilson to stay fit. That puts too much pressure on Isak, and basically you've got one striker. So, in my opinion, if you keep Wilson, you need 3 strikers. Well soon.
I agree with that, and Osimhen would be some statement, really. He's probably one of the best, if not the best, striker in the world at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a name. He's a name that gets mentioned all the time. He is global, and look, when you sign a global star, right, it attracts other players. I don't care what they say, right? It does, and if we sign somebody like that, all of a sudden, the rest of Europe, some of the players go, whoa, hold on, he's going there in his prime. And it's like, look, you can say what you want about Saudi Arabia and them taking players over the league and stuff, but what it has done is it's put Saudi Arabia on the map when it comes to the football league. And basically, some of the players are getting turned and are going over there because it's just what it is. And Ronaldo started all that. So it was Ronaldo going in the first place that clearly did that. So signing a star helps out big time. Shame about Baz. He should be back soon. He's just not too good at the minute. Truly believe Tonali would call him good, more than good. I completely agree. Can't understand this Croatian bloke without a tree. Absolutely brilliant.
Soon. Christmas is coming over. There will be a tree very soon.
I'd also like to thank Colin for the £10 donation. Absolutely fantastic. And just go to the top as well. Tony as well for the super sticker, $4.99. Much appreciated. Honestly, it's fantastic. Thank you very much. I've said it time and time again, I'm a bit slow on this because obviously I've got a phone and Baz has got this lovely computer. And I just, sometimes I just struggle to get through quick the comments because it's hard. The fee would be astronomical. It would be. I agree, Colin. Thank you. It's the right side, Gary, and we need a goal scoring wingers. All top sides have Mbappe as one. Salah in the game now. It's mostly wide forwards scoring goals, mate. We need what? Well, I mean, yeah, I think we need. Obviously, we've got Miggy, right? But Miggy's not the future. I agree with that. Now, I think Yakuba Menta's still young, so we don't know. He could come in and be a complete superstar next season, or he could come in and take time. So we don't know about that one. But I think it's probably a part of the pitch that they'll look into in the summer because
Absolutely, and I sorry, Gay.
No,
Miggy is he's a good player, and I really love him because of his work rate, because of his attitude. But he's I would say, I think a lot of people maybe won't agree with me, but he's a very limited player. And when he's playing great, like Purple Patch, he had last season, when he's scoring goals, he's amazing. But when he's not scoring goals, he's very limited because he's not creating goals. So I would say when he's not scoring, he's not contributing. He does track back, he covers tactically, but when you have a winger like Moussa Diaby, who went to Aston Villa in the end, he can he can score goals at some time. He can assist other time. He can create, maybe not as direct assist, but pre-assist, as you would say. And Miggy has, I would say, only one leg, and he doesn't assist as much. So if he's scoring, if he's in a purple patch, he's great. But if not, he's just, I wouldn't say he's a minus, but he's not contributing as some other player like Moussa Diaby or a winger of that type could be contributing to the team. So he's not. He's like a stepping stone, I would say, to where we are going.
Well, me and Baz don't disagree much, right? But what we do up and down on is Miggy. He divides with. Would I start Miggy tomorrow? Yes, I would. Do I think he's playing well at the minute? Yes, I do. Do I think he's the future? No, I don't. Do I think he's fantastic and brilliant? No, I don't, but Baz does. But I get why people do like him, and I get why people think he is a top quality player, and I get why people want him next season. But for me, it's a position I would keep Miggy next season, right? I wouldn't get rid of him at all. But for me, I think next season's the season we've got to go to the next level. And I think left back Lewis Hall hopefully fill in there at some point. But the thing is that because we've got Kieran Trippier and Tino Livramento now, the right back, full back positions covered. So in the coming years, we're going to need a threat on the right wing, similar to Anthony Gordon is, right? So it's like, and you could argue that Harvey Barnes could go there and so on. But I think there's something. I would definitely 1,000,000% keep Miggy next season, 1,000,000%. But I think we maybe need to look at, what is, some people are going to shoot me down here, honestly, though. But my wife especially, because she loves him. But can you see? Right.
Absolutely agree with you.
100%. People panicking as normal. No Botman, Tonali, Joe Linton or Wilson are training for Newcastle this morning ahead of PSG. Well, Tonali was doing his own bit of training inside, so he's fine. And Callum Wilson turned up as soon as the reporters were reporting nobody was in training. So the only person who didn't train was, look, if Eddie's right and basically saying that Joe Linton has got time or he could play, then I think Joe Linton was clearly in the treatment room, right? So he wouldn't have been on the pitch. Botman's definitely out, so I expected him not to be there. But
and I would trade all of them for Botman tomorrow. I think he would be the biggest plus out of all.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's obviously it's a massively tough game tomorrow, but having Sven Botman in there is like the missing piece of a jigsaw, isn't it? Like it's like you put that jigsaw piece in, and all of a sudden, there you go. And Botman's such a huge player for us. Like, and that, see, I've always said that if Bruno gets injured, Tonali can go in, right? If Joe Linton gets in, I'm not saying they're better players, right? This is just Joe Linton gets injured, Willock can go in. Gordon gets injured, Bordens can go in. I know players are injured, but if Botman gets injured, we're knocked. Basically, you know what I mean? And we've got to rely on our squad, basically, but the low end of the squad.
100% agree.
And Botman's such a huge player for when a massive miss. The sooner he gets back, the better. They are the injuries at the minute.
Willock's
Obviously,
for a while.
Yeah, Willock pulled his hamstring last season, mate. Apparently Willock's out back after international break. Harvey Barnes is next year. Moral opinion on this, right? Because I think I'm trying to work out if I'm wrong here, right? But since I've followed Newcastle, I know injuries are part and parcel of the game, right? But do we seem to have loads of injuries every season without fail? Or is it just me? I know last season was a bit better, but even, like, for example, Trippier missed 3 months because of a broken metatarsal, right? We seem to pick up, right, a lot of injuries. And I know that part of the game. But when I saw the other day, we had 9 injuries. West Ham had 1, right, in the injury list. Do you think there's something not right at Newcastle, or do you just think we're unlucky? Because this seems to happen every season for me. And not a fit. I know
before that we were among the teams with most injured players for a lot of season, even consecutive seasons, and I know before it was a problem with the training pitch, and it was something that Rafa Benitez pointed out at the time, and that he tried to improve. And if I'm correct, they did change the how do you say, the ground, the training pitch, the grass and everything. It was very hard, and it was causing a lot of injuries, and also the state of our training, not just the pitch, now all the training ground and everything that's included in the training process under Mike Ashley was really terrible, and so that was one of the reasons. One of the reasons was pitch. So as far as I'm aware, they did some improvements on that when the new owners came in, and I think last season I'm not sure whether we were lucky or it was so much improved but last season we didn't have a lot of injuries. But yeah, this season again, and the seasons before we took over, we were always among the team with most injuries out of all Premier League. So I think it's not just you. It's the fact, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously there's nothing you can do about Harvey Barnes' injury. That's just completely unfortunate, you know.
Yeah. Happens.
I just think, like, Joe Linton, for example, coming on the pitch and within a minute and a half, like, pulling up, I just like it. But look, we could be unlucky, right? But I remember a few years ago, and I know the training pitches were shocking and everything like that. But some people will argue that back in the 70s and 80s, the pitches were terrible anyway, and we just got on with it. You know what I mean? So that's what they'll say to that. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think the new owners have put the new, obviously, equipment in to help with injuries, right? So they, obviously, if Joe Linton is potentially back, like, quicker than we thought, that must be down to the medical staff, to the equipment they've put in, this, that, and the other. If this had been under Mike Ashley, I reckon Joe Linton would still be out another 4 or 5 weeks if that's the case. So, this is PSG's injuries. Keylor Navas is doubtful, apparently. Does he play?
No, mostly Donnarumma plays these days.
Yeah, Donnarumma, man, bloody hell, man. Mendes is out. Kipembe is out, and Asensio is out. Well, no surprising Asensio being out. He's went to PSG.
And
I
he
can't believe I
started
forgot
unbelievably
Donnarumma.
good. Marco Asensio started unbelievably good. I think he had like 2 or 3 games and 2-3 goals and 1 assist in French league, but he got injured, and that's a bit of a plus for us, I think. Although Dembele is also playing good, and he's menace that's right wing, so they have a good bench. So
that's what worries me. That front three. I'm not going to lie. That's where the problem could be. And we'll have to be on my game. You've got. It looks like they're probably going to line up Mbappe on the left, Dembele on the right, and Muani up front. That looks like the front three.
Yeah.
Now that's full of pace, isn't it?
It is.
This is my lineup. This is, and I'll get your opinion on what you think. This is the lineup I think Eddie Howe's going to pick. Well, this is not the lineup that I would pick, but I would only make 1 or 2 changes to it, not massive, right? Well, this is what I'm going for. Basically, I've gone for Nick Pope in goal, Trippier, Shaw, Lascelles and Byrne at the back, Longstaff, Tonali, Gameras in midfield, Miggy, Isak and Gordon, the front three. Is that the team you're expecting? Or would you make changes?
So that's the team I'm expecting from Eddie Howe. But if it was me, I would play Dan Burn as centre back and play either Matt Target or Lewis Hall as left back. Because I think we would be much more solid with that kind. Because Lascelles, as good as a player he is, I think he lacks pace, especially tomorrow against such a pacey forwards as Paris have. I think we could be exposed that way. So even though Dan Burn isn't the fastest player in the world, I think he's still faster and more tactically aware than Lascelles is.
I mean, look, I'll put the lineup back up. Pop in your comments what you think if you would make any changes. If I was changing that, right, because I always pick what I think Eddie Howe was going to pick, right? Now, I'll tell you what, this might be something people don't go along with, right? But I'm worried about the pace with the front three. It's going to be controversial, this. I would drop Dan Burn, right? I would play Lascelles. I just think Lascelles at the minute, he's playing Arid, right? Now, he's not going to drop Dan Burn, and I would play Tino Livramento at left back. I know he's played there before, might be a bit controversial, but the one thing I know is that kid will be able to keep up with Dembele. Absolutely 100%. Now, my problem is I think Burn is going to get toasted at times, and it's whether our centre-backs play well enough to combat it. Now, look, Dan Burn's going to play, 1,000,000%, right? Pop in the comments if you think I'm right. Would you play Dan Burn or would you play Lascelles or would you shift it? I'm not a massive fan of the both of them. I just think for this game, I would play Lascelles, Livramento on the left, Trippier right and Shaw.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yeah, I think either Livramento or Hall or even Target would be better on the left back to cover to play on Ousmane Dembele's side, because I agree with you. He will gonna torch Dan Burn tomorrow if he plays left back.
Well, look, I mean, it's all a game of opinions. I'm not a big Target fan. I agree with what you're saying with him coming in. I think he'll get toasted as well. Lewis Hall looked like... I think Lewis Hall is going to be a top quality player. I really do. But when we played Man City, he looked lost at times. And I think that just comes with experience. Tino Livramento was an absolute flaming star in the making. And I have no doubt in my mind he could play left back. He's done it before. If you want, put Trippier there. I'm not bothered. It's just one game. I just think them two, we need pace. I mean, look, it's not going to happen. But that's just what I think. Pop in the comments if you think I'm right or Mauro's right or we're wrong. That's what the good thing about this is, because it's all about opinions. Right, we'll go in the comments quickly because we're coming to the end of the show. If Gordon is going to create us, not score loads, and not just strike us job score, Lewis a high pressing and we do Klopp's pressing system, Liverpool win because they have got quality and Salah. They've got match winners and they do sneak games at times. His defence work is unreal. People miss that. Miggy, well, it is. He will play. I would start him tomorrow. Livramento, I would play more because he's great pace and brilliant defensive mind. Chelsea made him a great defender. I completely agree. I would play him. Sent will go for 6 months in. We do miss his transition player and we signed Szoboszlai. We needed him more than Tonali. I think the problem with Szoboszlai was he didn't want to come. He wanted to go to Liverpool. And that's fair enough. We were interested, but he was Liverpool bound and there's nothing you can do about it if a player doesn't want to come. Yeah. Willock, I can't wait till he's back. I think we're missing him. Do you think we're missing Willock?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you think of that, like the highlight of that pass last season against Tottenham, I mean, you know what it is? Look, I might be just saying this, but on the outside of the boot, there's not many players in the Newcastle team who could do that, mate. That was just unbelievable world class when he did that. Absolutely, just we don't need to lose trips because he's playing on the left. I just think it's for one game. You know what I mean? We might have to make a few. I think Dan Burn's too slow. I think he'll get more than Morrow switched around. I'm sure Livramento can do a good job at left back too, though I completely agree. Training grounds are awful, hence injuries. It's our style of play. Gary the high press needs a strong body and mind to play. I think that comes with a 6 as well. So yeah, I agree with you. Eddie plays high press, so everybody wants to give 100%. Newcastle win 80%, PSG win 10%, draw 10% from the 4. 80% is not bad, is it? I'll get your opinion on what you think the score will be and go from there. It's the intensity of play. Gary, if you play for PSI, you're going to have muscle. You're probably right. It's probably me just being me. Play with pace. Yeah, I agree. Does he go Almiron or Murphy? I think he goes Miggy. Pope trips. This is Baz's team. Pope trips left. Pope's trips left back. Sorry, Shaw, Berntino, Longstaff, Bruno, Tonal. He's went exactly the same as me. So you would think alike. He's went exactly the same. I hit PSG accidentally, and you can make that 100%. I agree, Gary. I thought he would work. I just think he will. Look, Lewis holds the future at left back without a doubt for me, but he just I think he needs a bit more experience. No, guys, you've hit how I've been feeling on there for Ned, mate. Just that we haven't seen enough of Tino to be dry. Well, the thing is that look. At some point, you've got to find a way to get Tino Livramento on that side. I mean, he's world class, absolutely world class. In my opinion, he's going to be world class, and you can't keep players like that on the bench. I mean, Morrow, we've got to find a way to get him in. It's some way we've got to get that kid in.
He was absolutely amazing against City, and if it's left back, as you mentioned, if it's like coming more from the bench, I think we just need more than just occasional cup game every now and then, or maybe to rotate him to keep trips fresh and to play him every third, fourth game. But he's a great player and he needs to play more. Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Please like and subscribe. If you hear stuff in the background, it's just the wife munching on crisps and doing the popcorn. Doing the homework with the kids, sorry. Surely Mentor's in your right wing, possibly, but he's still Rosny. You just don't know. I mean, it's one of those with youngsters that could come in and be absolute stars, but they could take time. So, do we have a definite return date for Willock? Apparently, it is after internationals. Now, that won't be basically, or Willock, Joe, get yourself in, you're starting. Willock will give you a great boost when he's back in the squad. Put your score prediction in the chat now. I'm going for 2-1. Baz has gone 2-1.
I'm going to
2-1. 2-1 to Toon. I'll get your prediction in a minute tomorrow.
I also wrote 2-1.
He's gone by Andy's gone for 34-2. I've
And
heard 21-10 Palace game. Interesting. Yes, I heard that too, but it seems gone quite quiet. Right, we're nearly done. Just come to the end now. Right, basically, obviously we've done the injuries. We'll quickly go through this one. PSG's lately lineup: Donnarumma, Hakimi, Marquinhos, Skriniar, Lucas Hernandez, Emery, Ugarte, Vitinha, Dembele, Muani, and or Ramos they've got, and Mbappe. It's scary when you say it out, isn't it?
it is scary, but as I said, if we manage to stop their fullbacks and their distribution to attackers, I think we've done half of the job. And yeah, hopefully we can do that. We'll see.
Yeah.
We have both of our wingers, both Gordon and Miggy, are the ones who play defense, could track back, and who could really do that job. So, as you mentioned at the start, we need a bit of luck against a team like Paris Saint-Germain, but hopefully with the home support, a bit of luck and a good work from the guys on the pitch, we could snatch a win.
Yeah, I agree. That is basically PSG's average age, 25 years.
What's our average?
I tell you what. Well, if we put put it this way: if we put most of our youngsters in, we've got on the bench. I think we probably have a similar one. They're the last few fixtures from both teams. Obviously, we know ours. We're on a bit of form. We beat Burnley. Obviously, we beat Man City. We had that unbelievable result at Sheffield United. PSG have been a bit hit and miss. Obviously, I don't watch much of PSG. They win the games you expect them to win, but they drew. I mean, Mauro will be able to tell you better. They drew against Clermont, who were near the bottom of the league. I mean, that's a bit of a shock, isn't it?
It is. It was their last game, but before that, they won their biggest rival, Marseille, 4-0. And to be honest, they haven't started well. They are fifth, and they have 3 wins, 3 draws, and 1 defeat, which is not really common for them because they are as Bayern in Germany. They are usually very dominant in French league. They haven't started well, but they also made a lot of changes now without Messi, Neymar, and a couple of other changes in the team. So, but the first game against Paris, I think they were really dominant. So in Europe, their first game was really not as some games in French league. And as we mentioned before, they play different tactics also in French league and in Europe. So we'll see. I don't think they are unbeatable. I don't think they are unbeatable, and with a smart tactic, with a bit of luck and great performance for our lads, we can win. They are not. If we can win against Man City, even though it was a cup game, but as you mentioned previously, Man City is probably the best team in the world at the moment. So if we can beat Man City, I don't think we can beat Paris Saint-Germain.
I mean, I'm going for the same 2-1. Shows you how big Botman is, because if Botman had played, I think it'd be 2-0. I honestly do. But I'm going 2-1. I just think Burn will play, and I think he'll look. It's going to happen. Burn will work his socks off tomorrow. He will. If they throw balls up in the air, Dan Burn will win them all. It's on the deck. What's the problem for me? And I'd feel much more comfortable if Dan Burn was in centre back. Put it that way. But that's what I would. Obviously, that's my prediction. I want to finish off on this because I thought, obviously, opinion from PSG manager on Newcastle. And basically says Newcastle are a top team in the 4th pot. Newcastle are the team in the 4th pot that no one wanted. We know they play at a high level. They are a complete football team, and they will be playing in front of an extremely passionate supporters as well. He's done his homework, hasn't he?
Definitely.
Because he couldn't have predicted anything. I mean, I said this before. Nobody wanted Newcastle from pot 4, right? Nobody.
Yes.
And look, PSG manager has just said it there, and that's what it is. Obviously, thanks for Mauro joining us, and look, enjoy it tomorrow, because I've experienced home Champions League games. If you're going for the first time, you get goosebumps. Oh, well, one day you will. When you get goosebumps when you hear that tune at the beginning. Goosebumps. Barcelona's still the best atmosphere I've ever heard at St. James's. It was unbelievable. It could be topped yesterday. I hope it is. The flags look amazing. They look like they've got the whole stadium out. And look, go there, admire Mbappe and all that, but you know what? Just give them a Geordie welcome. That's all I ask for. Back the team and make it as hostile as out. If you want to clap Mbappe at the end of the game, do it. Don't clap him during the game. Because I've seen that happen before. But after the game, do what you want, but just back the lads more, honestly. Newcastle's average age is 28, right? And I'd just like to say thank you, everybody, for joining me. Obviously, it's a huge game for everybody, and I cannot wait. And I will see you all soon. Thanks for joining. Thanks to Mauro. Thanks for Kyle for just sitting there and just like looking pretty. Right. I'll see you later.